Hi guys, welcome to INFOGIST TV. Today, basically, I'll be dishing out 12 success strategies, success tips you would need to make success in Nigerian law school. But before then, I want each and every one of us to understand that there is a king in us. There's a king in you in Nigerian law school. And for every king, there is a domain to function in your domain. You need to have one thing King Solomon acquired early enough in during his reign in the Bible, and this he acquired through God. And that's one thing you need to acquire is the skill of wisdom as a king. You're a king in the Nigerian law school. Your hostel, your classroom, your library is your domain, so you need to rule over it. So basically, I'm going to dish out the 12 success tips now. So just kindly listen and follow these strategies because it has a whole enormous results it's going to give to you. So tip number one has to be very confident because boldness has genuines in it. While you're in the Nigerian law school, you just have to be very confident. Do not allow anyone intimidate you, neither with their questions or their mode of dressing or anything. Just be confident in yourself. That is basically all you need because you are here for yourself and not for any other person. Tips number two, start early. The early bird catches the worm. Start early to put up your materials together. Whatever is required for your studies, try to put them together on time. Tip number three, know your style and stick with it. Don't try to follow the pattern of others. A whole lot of persons, for example, someone who during his undergraduate days maybe where he's used to note making, probably when such person got to the Nigerian law school, because others are reading directly from their textbooks, that such kind of person would want to because his or her friends are doing reading directly from the textbook, we want to abandon the note making process he or she is acquainted with to read. Basically, you see that at the end of the day, such kind of person will do badly. So everyone should stick. If it is reading from the book that makes you function effectively, then good for you. If it is note making, then good for you. Just stick to it. Rule number 4. Excuse me. Attend all lectures. All lectures is essential for one's 100% success in the Nigerian law school. I beg your pardon. In the Nigerian law school, one has to attend all lectures regardless, including group meetings. Do not miss your group meetings. Tip number 5, revise every topic taught on the day it is taught. Abhor procrastination. Like one professor would always say, procrastination is a sin. Always revise every topic at the end of that day's class. So by so doing, it will stick with you. Tip number 6, be sure to master at least one draft every day. Recently, drafts were just circulated all across the campuses. One has to understand that there are a whole lot of drafts to be drafted by the students of the Nigerian law school. So, for one to get acquainted with all these, one has to try as much as possible to learn at least how to draft one particular draft every day. Tip number 7, have a daily reading plan and adhere to it. A whole lot of persons probably put up timetables for reading, but at the end of the day, because they are carried away by activities, by friends, and a whole lot of it, we are unable to keep to the reading plan. So one has to not just getting a reading plan for his or herself, but to ensure he sticks to it. Tips number 8 rather, have an exercise plan and work it out. Get quality sleep and rest. Even if you live in lodges maybe that has staircases, even if it's for you to just walk up and walk up and walk down once in a while just for you to exercise your body, you just have to do that to keep fit and ensure you rest. Basically, if you feel ill, probably instead of you having a very bad health and you still insist on going to class, it's better you just stay back in the hostel for one day to rest and regain yourself than struggling with the poor health and going to the classroom, and at the end of the day you just end up breaking down, and that keeps you in the hostel for another 1 week. So you have to be wise in choosing when to rest, when to work, when to exercise, when to read. Success tips number 8: fix your eating preferences early enough. Know which restaurant fits your pocket and your stomach. This is essential because if you are not properly fed, you cannot read properly. So you just have to understand and pick on time so you don't end up jumping from one restaurant to the other and end up having food poisoning and the rest of it, because that certainly will affect your reading mood. So just try to get one on time for yourself. Tips number 10: get help. Asking for help doesn't mean you are weak. Rather, it means you are wise. A whole lot of persons, regardless of their status, would stood so low to get knowledge from whosoever they can get it from. But a whole lot of persons, this is different for them because they see themselves to be so very high that it is belittling for them to go down to the next person to ask for certain clarifications, certain explanations. And where one cannot do that, ensure you identify who your group mentors is and ensure you put those questions through to them, because everything that is not clear with you now wouldn't be clear with you in the exam hall rather. So don't forget to always ask for help. Tip number 11: feed your spirit and renew your soul with the undiluted word of God. Whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a pagan, a traditionalist, whatever works for you, whoever you look up to for your spiritual upliftment, do not forget to also give time, a little bit of your time to it, because regardless of your efforts, except God builds and gives you first class in the Nigerian law school, all your efforts may be in vain. So regardless of whatever you're doing, try to always give God a chance in your life. And tip number 12, this is the last but not the least, but basically you have to see the end from the beginning. Faith calls the things that be not as though they are. This is the fact that if one desires to make first class from day one, such kind of person must see first class coming and work basically towards first class. If one wants a 2-1, one has to see it and work towards it. If one wants a pass, then pass will come. But basically, if you want a first class, you need to see it from the onset, from the very first day, and start working towards it. There is difference between one who is excellent and one who is just shabby. So for you to be excellent, you just have to put in a whole lot of your time, a whole lot of sacrifices, and beyond the skies will be your limits. If you find these success tips interesting, if you find them to be what you really want, please and please, in order to show that you really enjoyed this episode that I'm dropping, please do me a favor by showing me some love by clicking on my channel to subscribe.